Welcome back to the channel for the first video of Football Manager 26. We're going to try a tactic. We're trying out my phenomenal 4-2-3-1. We've just created this in the last day or two. Bear with us because, like all content creators, like all players, we are learning the game as we go. So I may click on and off the wrong thing at times, but we'll get straight into it. So with the phenomenal 4-2-3-1, as we can see, we are Manchester City. If I open up the Premier League table, we can actually see we've won 29 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses, scored 97, conceded 31 for a goal difference of 66, finished on 93 points, so perfect first tactic test. We are 8 points clear of Liverpool in second, absolutely phenomenal, beat the board expectations there. If we go and take a look at some of the stats, in terms of team stats, we will go for the general attacking stats first. Goals wise, we scored 97, Liverpool pipped us at 99, but we've won the title, 97 goals. Goals per game, we've hit 2.55, absolutely perfect. We were expected goals over performance wise of 11.9, so we scored more than expected, which was really good. Penalties taken 5, so you know, a lot of our goals came from open play, which is absolutely perfect. Looking at the defensive numbers now, conceded 31 with the best defence in the league. Expected goals against, we were expected to concede 32.26, so pretty much bang on. Conceded slightly less than expected, which is perfect. Clean sheet wise, we are top with 19 clean sheets in the league. Kept a clean sheet in half of our games, absolutely spot on. Then if we go back, we will take a look at the player stats now. And in terms of attack numbers, as you would expect, Erling Haaland hit 27 goals in 31 appearances, a goal every 94 minutes, absolutely phenomenal for him. Are there any other players in the kind of top numbers? Marmoush is there, he managed to score 12 goals this season. If we keep going down, Jeremy Doku got 10 as well, so some good goals spread about. Erling Haaland was expected to get 22.64 goals, as we saw he got 27, so he's overperformed there. If we go and take a look at shots wise, 140 shots this season for Erling Haaland, absolutely phenomenal, 74 of which were on target, brilliant to see. If we take a look at the assists, somehow Florian Wirtz has got 20, even though he's pish in real life. I'm only kidding, I'm an Everton fan, I can say that. If we scroll down, Savinho managed to get 8 assists this season. He seems to be our top assist creator. Bernardo Silva also got 8 as well. And then we can see Rico Lewis there with 7. Key passes wise, Wirtz is there, don't know how. Bernardo Silva with 76 key passes, as did Marmoush. Phil Foden with 74 as well. Really good for them. Goalkeeping stats, as you can see, Donnarumma conceded 28 goals, so 0.82 goals conceded in his first season per game. Really good. Clean sheets wise, he kept 17 clean sheets this season. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not expecting to be up here for saves held, parried, things like that, so we'll not really take a look at that. So looking at the brand new data hub, if we take a look here, we can see we managed to score 2.6 goals per game, as we saw roughly, 0.8 goals conceded per game, really good. Non-penalty expected goals 2.1, so we've overperformed there. Expected goals against per game 0.8, so we're hitting that mark there. Shots per game 22.3, shots on target 45.9, pass completion 89.5, and tackles 1 of 77.3. So overall, a really good season all round. If we now go and take a look at the competitions overall, we can see we've won the FA Cup, beating Spurs, even though it doesn't really tell you here that it is the Cup final, which is a bit of a concern about the new interface. I'm not sure how much I like that. But we won 2-0, 2 goals from Erling Haaland. And in the Champions League, again, it tells you nowhere on the screen that it's the Champions League final, but we won 3-0. Bernardo Silva, Rico Lewis and Erling Haaland scoring the goals, although it does look as if Erling Haaland's goal doesn't count, but as you can see it's 3-0, so make of that what you will. But we go back again here, we can see it's the 30th of May, there's one fixture, so we know it's the Champions League final, but nowhere on this screen does it say this is the final. When you're in the game it doesn't say it there. It tells you down here in very small writing on the stages that it is the final. That should be more prominent, it should come out and pop, but that's for another video. So we go, as you can see, we've won the treble in the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Champions League, but we did however lose in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup to Chelsea, so it doesn't really matter, it's the Carabao Cup, the lesser of the 4 trophies run this year. So we have won a treble, which is absolutely phenomenal for our first tactic test. And let's see exactly how we've done it. I'll show you exactly what the tactic looks like now. So here we are, this is the Flying Scotsman's phenomenal 4-2-3-1, in and out of possession. We'll run through it all. I'll show you the new screens. It can be a bit daunting to look at. I'm still a bit unsure the best way to present this, but we'll go and we'll show you anyway. So we'll do the team instructions first. If we look in possession, in the build-up, we are playing it through the press, so take more risks, staying composed under pressure. That's in the build-up strategy. Goal kicks, we are going mixed, we are going balanced for goalkeeper speed distribution and the goalkeeper distribution itself, so we're not telling him to play to a particular area or player, We just want it to be mixed to keep that going. Progression wise, supporting runs, we've got his balance, dribbling balance, progress through is balanced. Pass reception, we are asking to pass in space, playing those through balls, making runs into space. And as we can see, obviously the new feature here, you can see in position where your players should be positionally as you progress up the pitch. So as you can see, the fullbacks or wingbacks are getting further up here down the flanks to come alongside the two central midfielders, and in the final third they're ahead of the two central midfielders helping out in the attack. We're going with the balanced dribbling. In terms of patience, we're hitting those early crosses, getting the ball into the box, creating a high volume of chances because we've got Erling Haaland. We want him to get as many chances as quickly as possible. Shooting from distance, we've got his balance. We're not encouraging it, we're not discouraging, just let them do it themselves. And in terms of crossing style, we are whipping the crosses in, hitting the crosses with pace and spin to cause chaos in the box. Again, Erling Haaland will sniff those out, not a problem. And if we look at the overview, we can see passing directness. We have got it shorter, so encouraging short passes, building attacks more patiently. In tempo, we are going much higher, much more urgent, taking much less time on the ball. The attacking width, we are going narrower, occupy the central areas, create closer passing connections. So it gives you a lot more information as to what you're looking at. There's just a lot of different bits to click in and out of. I'm not too sure how much I like that at the moment. Attacking transition wise, we're going counter-attacking, attempt counter-attacks more often and catching the opposition out of position. And then creative freedom, we're going as balanced, so just a balanced level of freedom, no preferences there. Time wasting less often, we are minimal time wasting, we're maximising in play time. That kind of makes sense when you say less often. And play for set pieces, we're keeping the ball in play, we want to keep the attacks going, create chances in open play. We're the best team in the league, so why would we want to play for set pieces and let the clock run out? We don't want that. So that's the in possession side of things. If we now go to out of possession, there's a whole new ball game. So out of possession, if we look at the low block, cross engagement, we've got his balance. As we can see, we are really compact there. We have a bank of 4 and a bank of 5 with, it's got Jeremy Doku here, but I've not got any players locked in, but he is the furthest man forward. We have 2 banks here. That will be so solid and keeping the clean sheets we've seen. In the mid block, we are trapping outside in the press and trap, so denying access to central areas and winning the ball out in those wide areas. As you can see, we're a bit less compact, but we are still near enough a bank of 5 in the midfield. In the high press, we are trapping outside, obviously, as we saw, deny access to central areas, win the ball back in those wide areas, and short goalkeeper distribution, yes, as in prevent it, disrupt the opposition build-up and force them to go long, benefits us obviously massively. And in the overview, in the line of engagement, we've got that high press, begin engaging opposition during their own build-up phase. Defensive line, we're asking them to get higher defensive line, reduce the space in front of the defence, it's a no-brainer. Defensive line behaviour, though, we're staying is balanced. We're not asking them to hold the high line, we're not asking them to be wary of the balls in behind, we're just asking them to stay balanced. In terms of the trigger press, much more often, engage the opponent much more and be more proactive. Defensive transitioning, counter pressing, disrupt as soon as possession is lost, so as soon as possession is lost, get that back, win the ball back quickly, and then we're going with the standard tackling. Now onto the team shape and player instructions. As we can see, we've got both lined up here. I'll go through it all again. Might be a bit footy, it might be a lot to look at, but bear with me here while we go through the first couple of tactics. So in goals, we have a goalkeeper. Again, these wee lock icons here they are locked into that player role. So attacking with is standard, obviously. Dribbling direction, they are locked in because they're just part of that in possession role. Dribbling frequency, we're dribbling less, looking for a passing combination. We're not asking him to come out, we're not asking him to, stay standard, do a bit of both. We are asking him to dribble less. Everything else is pretty much standard as is, and we're going with the shorter passing, obviously, for the goalkeeper. Plays shorter passes more often than the rest of the team, so that's kind of what we'd expect in possession. And out of possession, he is a sweeper keeper, but it's standard across the board, but it doesn't tell you anywhere on here that he is a sweeper keeper. That's another thing that kind of annoys me. And sometimes you click in possession, you get in possession stuff, out of possession, out of possession. Sometimes you click here and it's got both. It's hard to look at times, but that sort of thing will hopefully get fixed. Looking at the wing backs, they're both the same either side. So in possession, they are a wing back. The only thing we have changed is crossing from. We're asking them to cross on the byline, so get as far forward as they can towards the byline, cross from those dangerous positions into the box. It comes with the standard passing directness. Everything else is pretty much standard. Make more runs in the forward runs is locked in for the wing back, so that's why that's there. Out of possession wise, all we're doing is asking them to tackle harder, and that is the same on the left and the right wing back here. And in the centre backs, we just have 2 standard centre backs. So in possession, everything is standard. or locked in. As we can see, make fewer runs, but that's obviously locked in. Out of possession again, everything's just set as standard here. Looking at the midfield too, we have 2 central midfielders in possession. We are asking them to make fewer forward runs, so stick to their position. So we don't want them to be defensive midfielders in possession. We don't want them sitting too far back. We want them a wee bit further forward, but we don't want them going too far forward, if that makes sense. Don't want them to be super defensive, don't want them to be perfectly going forward, so that's why they're centre mid, I suppose. But everything else is just set as standard here. Out of possession, they are defensive midfielders. We've asked them to tackle harder when we don't have the ball. So as we can see, 2 centre mids here, drop back to be defensive midfielders out of possession. Now, on the wings, we have 2 inside forwards. In possession, this is where it gets spicier. We're sitting narrow, position closer to the centre, obviously, as we can see. Dribbling direction, we're asking them to cut inside with the ball, dribble towards the central areas. Dribbling frequency, we're asking them to dribble more, so take on your man. We have some of the best wingers in the world, so take on your man, obviously. Forward runs, make more runs, that's locked in, obviously, because you're an inside forward. Passing risk, we're asking them to take more risk, looking for that killer pass, and everything else here is just set as your standard. That's the same on the left and the right. And out of possession, triggering the press more often, we're trying to press as much as possible here. Marking tighter, so we can give your mark less space. We don't want them having time on the ball. And as you can see, whichever one you click, it gives you staff feedback, so positives and negatives if you're choosing that depending on your team, etc. Really good addition there. Tackling, tackle harder again, engage your mark, simple as that. And marking target, we're just keeping as standard. The attacking midfield slot in the centre, we have a second striker. And in possession, we're asking him to move into channels when we're talking about attacking with. You can only keep him as standard moving channels. We're asking him to make those runs between the centre backs and full backs. Dribbling direction standard, that's locked in. Forward runs, make more, locked in again. Passing risk, we are asking him to take more risk, look for that killer pass. So we're asking him to go in between the channels, make those riskier passes in behind the striker. And then out of possession, it says here, he is a wide outlet winger. But if we go here, he is not. That is not what we have him as. He is a pressing central midfielder, so a little bug here, unfortunately. But trigger press more often, that's locked in because obviously he's a pressing midfielder. So we'll take a look back in a minute and we'll see exactly what he's doing. So he will like to move up. So as we are out of possession, we're kind of pulling back a wee bit, but the pressing midfielder is still engaging that wee bit. Not as much as he would be if he was playing the attacking midfield, but he will still press at the correct time. Up front, we have a channel forward in possession, obviously a lot locked in, such as moving the channels. We're asking him to shoot more often. We're asking him to shoot on sight when he's in the box. We've got Erling Haaland for this, so why wouldn't you? Passing risk, we have take more risk, looking for that killer pass, and everything else is just set as standard. Out of possession, he's a centre forward, everything's set to standard. So that is the 4-2-3-1 in possession tactic and out of possession. If you go to combined, obviously it combines them together, says it in the name, and it shows you exactly what their in and out of position roles are. Now, that's the first tactic I've done in FM26. Let me know down below what you think of the new tactics. Are they far too confusing for newcomers? Are they what you were looking for previously? And let me know how I can continue to bring tactics to you and how I can maybe better present this, because it does seem like a minefield at the moment. But like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.